Hello, welcome again to the Jasmine Rose Temple. My name is Ivry, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about my father and what has been coming, and of course what he has given me in my life, eh? So come join me. Beloved ancestors, we come. We open to hear you. To feel you. To know you are near. Beloved companion, come. Hello again. I wanted to share today what has been arising from within me. Very much has to do with my father. I'd like to begin by saying about a week ago, I guess, a few days, I had a dream. And this dream, there was a big piece of paper, and on that paper were written all these words. It's typed out, different words. And on my right, lo and behold, beloved Yeshua, Jesus, was on my right in this dream. Beautiful presence I could feel. And he had like a dice or a pebble, some kind of small stone, and he threw it, and it landed on the word remember. Very significant for me, that word, remember. Much to say on that, but today, what that word remember began to bring forth. And as I said, my father, so my first video I mentioned my father, who was a Frenchman, who was a Catholic, but I'd like to say that my father was an unknown mystic. He sought God all of his life, and I honestly feel like I am living the fruit of that seeking. So when I was a child, my father would teach me daily how to make my bed for Jesus, he would say. I had 3 siblings ahead of me, all in school, so I was the little one for now. And this is what we would do daily, is begin by making the bed for Jesus. And my mother, who worked at the hospital, had taught us how to make a proper bed, right? So we would make our bed daily for Jesus, going from room to room, making all of the beds in the house, eventually sweeping for Jesus, doing our dishes for Jesus. So it was a whole day for me when I reflect back of that learning of mindfulness, of being aware. And for me, because my father was a mystic, I like to say the way he taught me was pay no attention to what's going on up here. I mean, we all know the politics and the stuff that needs to be purged, eh? But he had a connection that was much of a deeper level, the mystical level of that tradition. So for me, he gave me that presence where Jesus became a beloved companion for me on my journey. So I'm very grateful for my father for that, weaving that ancestral line together with my mother line as well. So what started to come up for me after this dream was when I was 6 years old. And I had just begun school, and I I don't remember the whole day except that there were some boys in the playground teasing me. And I remember that night, and there I was in bed, crying to Jesus, my beloved companion, and saying, why do they do this, Jesus? This 6-year-old pouring her heart out, crying to him. And then everything again became very silent. And I heard Jesus, as clear as I'm speaking to you this day, say to me, don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. And he whispered this with the most compassionate love. And all I remember is being filled with these words and the comfort of these words and the comfort of his love, and falling asleep in that comfort. So what was showing up for me after that dream? And of course, what is going on in the world, horrendous what is going on in the world. But what I kept hearing is those words. And that night, what I found amazing is Jesus never mentioned the bullies in the playground. He caused me to turn my gaze away from them and concentrate on a higher love. Don't worry. You're never alone. I love you. I'm always with you. And so that chant, as I was praying, as I was concerned about daily things, about the world, I kept hearing from the depths of me that whisper again, don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. It was rising from within this 6-year-old, but yet at the depths of my being. And it wasn't about ignoring what is going on, of course not, but a way to turn back to this gaze and realize that there's something larger, of course, still with us, holding us, caring for us, rooting for us. Okay? So I feel that the remembrance is this, so simply. This beloved companion continues to whisper to us, don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. Don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. And this echoes throughout all of creation. And so I felt to concentrate on this chant for us together, for ourselves, for our loved ones, for all that is happening in our own neighborhoods and countries, of course, world and planet and the cosmos, in honor of my Father and the medicine he gave to me. Don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. Don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. Join me. Don't worry, I love you, and I I will always be with you. For the world, don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. Don't worry, I love you, I will always be with you. Don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. For our loved ones, for our neighbors, for our friends, for our foes, for all of creation, for the cosmos, for the little ones, for the women, for the men, for the soldiers, for the world. Don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. Sing it with me, don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. Don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. Don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. Don't worry, I love you, and I will always be with you. Thank you so much for coming this day. I am Ivry. This is who I am.